Hello, everyone. Today we got to play Ecos,
The first
continent. So this is a world-creating game. I mean, there's some tile placement, but you're essentially creating different ecological zones with different animals.
If you would have told me that I was going to wake up and play a game that was a cross between a strategy not worker placement, but an area control type game and bingo, I would have rolled back over and gone back to sleep because I would have never expected that.
There's not area control in this though.
Yeah, well,
you don't control the area.
You don't control the area, but that's how you score. It's based upon the areas and the conditions on your cards.
Well, I mean, okay, so
and it's definitely bingo. Or should I say eco? Because you call out eco instead of bingo. That's the big twist.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. All right, so going into quality of pieces.
Eco! Just want to practice.
I may hurt him. I think the cards are not great. The cubes, the wooden cubes, or the stick wooden cubes. I do think these are kind of cool. The wooden mountains and the trees.
Mountains and trees are really neat.
And the tiles look pretty, and they're thick enough. I mean, these are fine.
I think the tiles are
I
cool.
am curious as to why the water tiles are thinner than the...
Yeah, I guess maybe because the water is supposed to look like it sits below the land, because otherwise it would flood.
Or is it because these are dual-sided?
Yeah, I think it's probably got more to do with I can't imagine why dual siding would force them to be lower. The fact is that if you've got it looks like a little bit of land around it, because otherwise,
and the effect of it actually looks pretty nifty.
Yeah, it looks neat.
They do have a storage component for all the animals.
Yeah, I thought that was unique because they built this where you can actually
not only, but you can actually see what you got.
You can see what you got, and you can lock it from the top so that it's easy for storage. So it was really cool.
Yeah, so that aspect, I think that for quality pieces was really cool.
The big downside are the wooden cubes that they did not give you enough for all the players because this plays 2 to 6. And we played with 5, and we ran out way before the game was over. So with 6, it would have been even worse.
And it's supposed to be an infinite supply.
Yeah.
So it'd be one thing if it was meant to be limited, but it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not?
No.
I didn't get more because I thought we were out.
No.
Well, we were out.
We were out.
Well, I mean, this is a simple... You can replace these so easily. There's so many places that do that.
Well, I mean, we got so many different games that we could easily find something.
Yeah, I mean, I could print some off, but... Yeah, that is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be no way you could play 6 players.
No.
And that's kind of rough. So let's give it a score, guys.
It's kind of like one of the games we reviewed earlier. I'm kind of on the fence because there's some really cool parts.
Well, we didn't also talk about the bag.
Oh yeah, the bag of
the actual bingo ball. I mean, eco tiles.
Those are really nice.
Are really nice. Yeah.
And so I think that between the eco tiles and the mountains and trees and the embroidered bag, I think that kind of pushes it over the edge for me. So I think I'm going to give it an 8. I would have been a 7 if it wasn't for the stuff that is nice being as nice as it is.
What do you think?
Well, that was the reason I pushed it to a 7 because I thought the rest of it was more like 5 to 6 range. So, I mean, these are strictly. I mean, these are almost identical to a Catan tile.
Yeah, but they feel thicker.
They're definitely not. I would go probably a 7 on it as far as because of the nice components that they did do and the storage mechanisms. I do think the storage mechanisms are going to wear out because we're already seeing some bending on some of the cardboard pieces.
If you play it a lot.
Yeah, but we've only played it one time and we're already seeing some. So yeah, I think probably a 7 is where I'm at.
I'll be right in the middle. I'll be Switzerland 7.5.
It seems to be your new thing. It's just to make sure you slip in between the middle there on the scores every time.
I'm not saying anything with that comment. I got in trouble last time. Okay, so moving on to theme. Theme is kind of cool, guys.
It's a neat concept for a game. I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally building the planet and populating it with animals, trees, mountains, and things like that. I don't know what the actual theme is, but the theme, it definitely gives you you feel something when you play this game as far as the creation
Here's
of the world.
the theme according to the book. What if the formation of Earth had gone differently? In Ecos, players are forces of nature, creating the planet together but with competing visions of its grandeur. You will have the chance to mold and create a part of the world similar but different to the one we know. Which landscapes, habitats, and species thrive will be up to you. There are no turns in the game of Ecos. Instead, one player will be revealing elements in the form of element tokens, one at a time from the element bag. Each element revealed can give some or all players energy, depending on what effect they are trying to activate. When a player's card has enough energy to activate, that player yells, bingo! Oh no. That player gets to resolve the effect, which usually results in terrain or wildlife being added to the board. The game ends at the end of a round in which at least one player has 80 victory points, or little squiggly thingies like that. The player with the most points wins.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I thought that that's what the theme was, and without reading it, was the creation of the world. So I think it gives off the proper theme, and I like it. You know, the only thing that would have been really cool is if the animals were miniatures.
Yeah.
Really kind of.
That would have been cool, but I think the storage would have been a lot more, and the game would have increased in price because it's already MSRP is $59.99.
For this?
So if you would have, and I don't think that's a bad price.
And you do get storage, you do get a nice bag and tiles.
But if you add a bunch of minis that are animal shaped, that could really probably jack the price up.
Then they need to like add it as an upgrade.
That's
or you could go to the dollar store and buy those little tiny plastic animals and just.
Or you know what? I think we could 3D print some if we wanted.
Probably could. I know someone who does that.
Yeah, I think I could. Don't tell me.
If you like it that much, then yeah.
See, that's the thing is because there's like 3, 6, 9, 12 animals.
Well, some of them are two-sided. To be fair, like there's a shark that shares with one of them.
A lion
and a shark because they're so similar.
Well, they're kind of like that alpha level. Predators.
Yeah, you'd still need to.
Yeah, you just need them. Yeah, so you can't count by what's on there, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, I think it's interesting. I think that would have been cool thematically for it, but overall, I think the theme fits really well. I'm gonna give this an 8 on theme because you definitely feel it. It's definitely part of gameplay. Without reading it, I understood what the theme was, and I think that's kind of I mean, for me, that's what I like is knowing what the theme is.
Well, it makes an interesting table presence, too.
Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it's really, like I said, the only critique I have for theme for this is the fact that the animals are just silly tokens.
And I really wish they had daubers.
No, you don't.
I want
Get up
whiteboard
the
cards.
bingo thing.
Get over
It's the whole point of the game. How can you?
I know, but at
It
the
brings
same
back
time,
memories of me going with my mom to bingo parlors and being bored out of my mind. But yet, this has a strategy game element added on, and there's less smoke.
Listen, I understand there's similarity. You pull out a tile, you call it the tile, but really, that's the similarity. That's it.
You fill a card, you yell out the bingo, eco, and you cash in for your prize. It's very similar to bingo.
The cashing out, I guess, is where the strategy comes in. What am I going to do with this? I
agree. I think it's a solid 8. It really it's got a cool theme to it. You feel it a little bit. Mechanics, so you don't know if you really don't know. I mean, you're gathering elements and stuff, but that don't feel like you're gathering elements.
But definitely creating the world you do.
But absolutely. So that's why I think an 8 is a good score for it.
What's your thought?
I was right there with you on an 8. I think it's definitely an interesting game concept. Like I said, I never would have thought of this combination, but it's it looks good on the table. It looks really good, and I enjoy.
And it was surprisingly fun.
Yeah, I was. Well, we haven't got the gameplay yet, but yeah,
I still say thematically it was fun.
Yeah, I mean it's appealing, and I like the animals and the interactions of the animals. I like the the way the terrain shifts. I think it's neat.
Yeah. So moving on to rules.
So the rule book is very colorful. It's got the art from the box, but then inside lots of big pictures.
Showing big pictures.
A lot of assembly. I mean, the print is in pretty good size. So it's not like eye straining. And, it's not hard to read at all. It's a 12-page rule book, but most of it is really spaced bigly spaced. And there's pages like that are just completely photos. I mean, it did not take long to read this game. Right. It was more the head shaking, realizing that this is bingo that I was doing and going through it. But yeah, I mean, it's a simple read. It's laid out nicely. This is a really well designed rule book. I mean, it's designed for getting you to the game quickly.
Yep.
And I'll give it probably an 8 for that.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving on to gameplay, I think Randy has mentioned multiple times.
Bingo!
If you didn't get it,
that there is a lot of similarities to bingo. So basically, the active player at that time will draw out an element. They expose it, and then you
can you do that in public?
Reveal it. There you go. There's the word. You know, words are hard today. And anyway, so you reveal it, and then you decide how you want to use that element. You can either place it where you have that symbol on one of your cards that you have played, or you can opt to turn your
doohickey,
your square.
Yeah, your start square in the middle. Yeah. It's kind of your.
It's your square. And if you opt to move your square, eventually there's a couple of options that happen. So one is where you can gain one of these cards that give you that, basically get another bingo card. Or you can opt to play one. So just because you get it doesn't
get a cube.
Yeah, or get a cube. These cards strategically are actually pretty important. Actually, I thought that was cool. So early in the game, I didn't really understand, but towards the middle, there were some really great combos that I was able to play, and it was very strategic. It was like, oh, I'm going to play this right now, and that is able to, impact these, which then lets me trigger even more. Like there was one time I ecoed one and then was able to eco 3 more because of the way it gave me resources, and it was just, I was able just to do bam, bam, bam. And like each one gave me, 1 or 2 victory points, but being able to do all 4. And then the last one gave me, like 8. So it worked out beautifully. So I thought that was super cool that there is that engine building component to it, where at first it may not seem like it, but then like, how do you get the cards to be able to do that? Yeah, you get a hand starting out. But it's kind of hard to flip, you end up not being able to flip this very often, especially when you need cubes. So I actually really liked that component of it. It was kind of one of my favorite components, is trying to melge this hand.
I don't think it's a huge criticism. I didn't dislike it, but that's a little bit of the luck factor in the game. It's because I think that maybe some of us didn't get as great of a draw as others did.
But we played just the first time players
so
version.
There's that drafting mechanic.
And normally when you're playing it, it's expecting you're going to move up to the drafting where everybody
could make a huge difference. And I think
that is going to make this game far better.
Because there are a lot, not so much of the blue cards, which is like your more of the advanced level cards, where that gives you more of the terrain and some of the scoring. The red is the more common, but there's a lot of the red. Mm-hmm. And so I think that without that drafting mechanic, it was still fun, but there was definitely an element of luck.
Yeah, the drafting could have really accelerated it, because I feel like I did get lucky in the cards that I had that could play off really well. Specifically, there was 3 of them that worked well with me, but then I drew 2 more that I was like, aha, that works out perfectly. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But had I not been able to do that, I think it would have been a lot harder. So I think it would have been nicer to draft, because I think you can control your hand a little bit more. Yeah, you would have still ended up with a little bit of junk as an all drafting. But
I do recommend, though, that you do play it the first time without drafting, because it did teach us the game.
Well, you wouldn't know,
so, you wouldn't know what to look for and what would be a good combo.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing at the
I thought one of the things I thought was interesting is they give you 2 sets of starter cards, if you will. They've got the plant and the animal pattern, and it's basically the arrangement of cards that they think go well together, but they put 2 sets of them in there, so you can play it if you get bored of playing it, but you don't want to go full on draft. you can try the other configuration and get a different distribution of cards, which I thought that was really cool.
That is really cool.
That is neat. What was your favorite part?
I think it was, even though I didn't get to do a lot of it, I think it was just building, you alluded to it as well, getting that good combo going. It was really fun when your engine kicked off. And I had one really nice card that gave me a bunch of points based off of the number of trees in the same habitat. I was able to score 16 one turn and 18 on another. So that was a lot of points. And so that was really cool being able to pull that off. So I think it's that card combination that I like a lot.
Okay, what about you, Randy?
Well, one thing we didn't talk about on that is these cards all have a shelf life. So each card has a number of leaves on each side, and I like that.
That is
I did like that.
Very cool.
You don't have a runaway scorer where somebody gets this great combo that's just permanent, because each of your cards, when you trigger it, you have to rotate it at one turn, and it eventually will die off that card.
And the more powerful the card, the less option and the less opportunities you get to turn it.
Yeah.
Unless you get like a super broken card like Randy got, which allows him to turn it back and
be able to use it again. Lifespan too.
Well, I know, but
that was a very short lifespan.
But it's still a really cool combo. That you had an awesome card. Oh, I get to do it again, even though I shouldn't have. So so it's really cool.
So I mean, I think it's that was my favorite aspect, that it
was neat.
It had a limitation on everything.
Stuff could be broke, but it's not super broke.
Right. So where you all got like 20 points in a turn, you're not going to get 20 points repeatedly in a turn.
Right.
So I think, I mean, this game has a lot to say for it. I really enjoyed it. Let's give it a score.
I want to do the stats real quick, if you don't care. So.
Fine.
BGG, the rating was 7.2. The designer is John Clare through AEG, and he's made quite a few games here in the last few years through AEG, Mystic Vale. And
that's why I like this game.
So John Clare at Space Base, John Clare did that.
Oh.
So he's done a lot of some of the games that we like quite a bit. So John Clare did the design. Artist is Sabrina Merriman, published by AEG, and again, MSRP is $59.99. A little pricey, but I think it's worth it just because the components are pretty cool.
No, you said, what is it, 7 point what?
7.2 is the rating.
Let's give our scores.
I think I'm going to do a consistent 8. I think it's a great game, and I think it deserves an 8.
Yeah, I think I'm at an 8 level on this, because it's the surprise factor of the fact that it's bingo combined with the strategy game.
No, it's not just the bingo part for me. I just surprisingly, for a game that wasn't that complex, how much fun I had, and I was surprised at how long it took. Yeah, it took a little bit longer than I anticipated, and I enjoyed that.
Well, it's just
I tried to hurry it up for you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not a game that I would have ever expected to come out. That's the thing, is I never would have imagined someone would combine bingo. So now it's like I think that you could combine almost anything and make a game.
Now, what would be great is if you go to a bingo parlor and yell out "eco" instead of bingo.
I don't think that would really work out so well.
I don't think so either.
I think I would be attacked by 800 grandmas.
That'd be great. That's why you think you should do it.
All I can think about is the one TV show you like watching at night, and they make him continue saying bingo.
Practical Jokers.
Yeah.
That was a funny episode. Anyway, well, guys, I had a blast, and I hope you guys had fun too. Hopefully you'll like to see us again. If you do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell.
As you do it, yell out bingo.
Eco.
Oh, that'd be fun in the comments.
Yeah. Just write bingo or eco in the comments?
That's it.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it's going to get much response.
No.
Are we going to have an actual winner out of the bunch?
Yeah, we are, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what they'll win, but they'll win something. I don't know. I've been actually creating shirts this morning, but
what's that got to do with your nose?
I don't. You know what? I'm still not awake yet. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Eco.